Hello everyone. In our last classes we learnt about many CSS elements. So in this class we are going to learn about CSS colors. So colors are available since 1953. So let us start. Now mainly there are around 4 to 5 color formats available. But in this class we are going to learn about two color formats. One is called as RGB and one more is called as HSL. So let us study about RGB. Red, green and blue. It stands for red, green and blue. Each parameter defines the intensity of the color between 0 to 255. Now there is a range from 0 to 255, right? It defines the intensity of this color. Now as you can see an image, colors on the color wheel created using combination of RGB values. As you can see here, red, to get red color we have to give a value called 255. For green, if you want only red, all the other two values must be 0, right? If you want a transition or the intensity must be changed, you can give 255 for the red. For the green you can give 125, and the blue, if you don't want the blue to be displayed, you can give it 0. So 0 means no color and 255 means the maximum intensity of that color. So this is about RGB. So let us see some examples of how exactly we can use RGB. I'm in my code editor now. So what I'm going to do now is, again I have told you, whenever you press exclamatory mark and tab, the whole structure of the HTML will be appeared here. Right now I'm going to create a paragraph. So I'm going to create a paragraph and I'm going to write as hello world. Now I have to give the CSS colors for this. Now how to give CSS color for this? Now just like you create style inside the head, we are going to use internal style sheet here. We are not going to use external style sheet for now. We are going to use internal style sheet. So that is why inside head I have created style tag. Now I am going to select, that is the selector, that is paragraph. Now if I have to give color for that, what I am going to give is color of RGB. As you can see, RGB. Now it asks a number for me. So what I'm going to give? I'm going to give red. So 255 is the red. Green I'm going to give 0 because I don't want green to be displayed. I should only get red. So I am displaying only red right now. So blue also you can give it as 0. Now semicolon, save it, and when you run this file, open with live server, when you see this, the color of the text is red here, right? So we are going to see some transitions now. So let's go back and give maybe if you can give 200 here and if you give 100 here. As you can see here, the Visual Studio Code tells you what color exactly we have given here. As you can see, right? If I go back and see the output of this, you can see it was red first, now it has color has been changed. So you can give, if you want it to be blue, what we can do is we can give 0 here, we can give green also 0, and in place of blue we can give it as 255. So once you do this, you can see a blue color is prompted here, and you can go back and you can see the output is blue. The text color is blue now. So if you don't want to give numbers and if you don't know the numbers properly, what you can do is Visual Studio prompts you to choose any color like this. You can see the different variations of numbers, 238, 238, 243, right? You can see some different variations of colors. Now whenever you come towards blue, the blue value will increase and the red and the green value will decrease. Just like if you go to red here, just scroll down here, if you go to red, you can see that red value will increase and blue value will decrease. Why? Because the intensity, it depends upon the how much intensity we are gonna use here, right? So this is about RGB. So let's see some colors. How many colors are available in RGB? There are different colors. Between 0 to 255 we can get different colors available. For example, there are combination of 255 to 0. If you take 3 times, so it would be many thousands of colors are available inside RGB. Now these are all the color codes which can be given. If you don't want to give number as well, you can directly give the codes for it. For the red you have hashtag FF0000. These are all coded with hexadecimal, right? So if you want all these color, there are different codes assigned for it. You can use all these codes to do it. This is in hexadecimal. So now we have seen RGB colors. Now we are going to see hexadecimal colors, like what color is assigned with number, which number is assigned with a color. So for red we have given FF 000 and 0. Now for the blue we have 0000FF. So just like that we are going to see some example on how to give colors using hexadecimal. Here you don't need to specify RGB. Why? Because we are going to use hexadecimal. So just close it, hashtag FF0000. As you can see, it is red color. So if I go and see the output, it is red here. Now if I want it to be blue, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just delete this and I'm going to put 0000FF. So if I do this, it is blue color. If I go and check the output, it is blue color, right? So what we are going to do now is we are going to check all the colors and see if all the colors are working fine. Now let us check for cyan color. So to get a cyan color, we are going to use the hexadecimal code for it is 00FFFF. So if I close it and see the output, you can see the color has been changed to cyan. So let us check some other color as well. So for the dark blue, what you can give is, we have already checked the blue. So let us see what is the code for dark blue. So the code for dark blue is 0000A and again 0. So if I do this, if I go back and check the output, you can see it is dark color here, dark blue, right? So likewise for yellow color, what we can use, the code for yellow color is hashtag FFFF0 and 0. So if I go and see the output, you can see it is yellow color here, right? So there are different types of colors available. For maybe if you want to give it as black, just give 0 0 0 0 0 0. Now here you can see if I give all the numbers as 0 and the color will be black. If I go back and check, it is black color here, right? And for the brown, what we can use as a code is hashtag A52A2A. Now you can see it is a brown color, right? So this is how you can use colors. This is how you can use RGB, and also you can use hexadecimal. There are codes assigned to each color, so you can use codes and get that color. An example of how the colors has been given in this website, right? If I go to inspect and check all the colors, you can see color hexadecimal they have given as 80, 80 and 80. So this color is gray. So this represents gray, and that is why you have got the output as gray here, right? So this is how you can do RGB colors. Now there are different types of colors available. Just like I told you, thousands of colors can be given. I'm going to show you the color wheel now. You can see how we can change the colors over there. This is an example of a color wheel. As you can see, there are different colors here: red, rose, magenta, violet, blue, azure, cyan, aquamarine, green, chartreuse, yellow, right? So once you give different numbers here, you can get all the intensities of the color. Just like if you want green, you can give 0, 255 and 0. Now all the red and the blue variants will be removed out, only green will be displayed. This is the highest intensity for a green color. For the red color, it is the highest intensity, that is 255, 0 and 0. For blue color, it is 0, 0 and 255, right? So there are different colors here. You can use different numbers to get all these colors. For purple, you can use blue and a mix of violet, right? So all these colors can be done using this color wheel. And here also, if we go and check, you can see all the colors available here. You can see all the RGB numbers also available here. If you do not know what exactly the RGB number is, you can go here and check all the things. For black, it is, you can see for complete black, it is 0, 0, 0, right? For a little black and white mixture, it is 109, 101, 101, right? All these colors, numbers will be given in this code editor itself. You can check whatever color you want and you can give that number. If you don't want to type, just go here and it will show you the colors. Just click on it and enter. You will get all the colors available here, right? So that is how you can use RGB colors. Now after RGB colors, we are going to learn about HSL. Now HSL stands for who, saturation and lightness. Now who use a degree on a color wheel from 0 to 360? As you can see, there's a color wheel here. Now 0 degree represents red, blue represents 240, green it is 120 degrees. So this is a color wheel. Now who is a degree on this color wheel? Maybe degree is like 10 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree. If you give 0 degree, it will be red. If you give 240 degree, it is blue. If you give 120 degree, it is green. So you can use any degrees available in this and you can get the color. So saturation is a percentage value. 0 means a shade of gray and 100% means a full color. You can use between 0 to 100, you can use any percentages, whatever color you desire to put in your HTML page. You can use all of those things by changing the saturation there. And also lightness is also a percentage. It is like contrast and brightness. So 0% is the black and 50% is neither light or neither dark, 100% is purely white. So you can use HSL also to give colors to your HTML and CSS, right? So this is an example of HSL which is being used in this website. So HSL 267, 10% and 10% has been used to get this color. So let us check this number and we'll find out what exactly we are going to get as output. To use HSL, what you can do, just remove RGB from here, type HSL, you can get HSL. It asks for hue 267 and saturation and lightness must be in percentage. This is not a value, this is a percentage value between 0 and 100, right? So saturation I'm going to give it as 10%. I'm going to give it as 10%, and for the lightness I'm going to give it as 80%. So 80% lightness and 10% saturation. Control save. Now go back, open with live server. If I see the output, you can see the output has been displayed here, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it as 10% because I want it to be dark. Control S, go back, you can see it is dark now, right? Now if I want to change the saturation levels, I'm going to give 50%. Now go and check, you can see saturation levels. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give the number as 27 and check. Now color has been changed, right? So this is how you can use HSL. Now there are different HSL. For example, you can use one number here. So just like HSL, you can see just like RGB. You can, if you don't know the exact numbers, you can use this color wheel here and you can choose all the colors available, right? So this is HSL. So if we go back, just remove this percentage values. If I go back and check the output, you can see the output is available here. So this was about HSL. Now just like HSL and RGB, there are two different variations of RGB and HSL. Now what is that? Now RGBA and HSLA. Now let us study about RGBA. Now, what is RGBA? It is an extension of RGB with an alpha channel which specifies the opacity of a color. They have introduced a new opacity for it. Now that is called as alpha. Just like you have red, green, blue, and one more thing you have to add, that is alpha. That is why it is called as RGBA, right? So this is the syntax of it. The alpha parameter is a number between 0 to 1. So you should not give 2, 3 or 10 or 20 or 30. It is always between 0 to 1. So in between 0 to 1 you can give as 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.25, 0.26. Now all these things you can give within 0 to 1. So alpha specifies the opacity of a color. So let us check the output of this. To use RGBA, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put RGBA and you can see RGBA, it's there here. So it is asking for the red color. So I'm going to put red color as 255. Right, so green I'm going to give 0 because I don't want green to be displayed. Blue also I don't want it. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to give it as 0. Now it is asking for a alpha value. So alpha value what I'm going to give it as 0.5, right? So if I give alpha value as 0.5 and let us check the output here. Open with live server. You can see the color has been displayed here. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back and again go check. Red color has been displayed here because it is not dark red. Why? Because I've given the opacity as 0.5. So I'm going to give it as 0.1 and go back and check the output, and you can see opacity, it is completely decreased. So I'm going to give it as 1 here, that is the complete opacity, and let's check the output. You can see it is complete dark now, right? So you can play with the colors using this. You can give 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. Alpha represents the opacity. Now if you give it as 1, if alpha equals 1, there is no opacity at all. If you give alpha in between 0 to 0.0 to 1, there is opacity, right? So that is what you have to understand. Now I'm going to give here as blue. Let us check. Blue is 255. Red, I don't want red. Now I should get the output as dark blue. As you can see, I got the blue here. Now I'm going to give green color also here, maybe combination of green and blue, right? So if I go and see the combination of green and blue, we can see the combination of green and blue color has been displayed here, right? I'm going to give combination of all the 3 colors, and let's check the output. Now if I put all the 3 colors, the wordings are not displayed here. Now why do you think the wordings are not displayed? Why? Because if we mix red color and green color and blue color, it is white color, right? So you have to understand, if you put all the 3 colors together, it is white color. So this basically RGB and all the color formats are based on our 7 colors, that is the rainbow colors. Now you can use all these things to give different colors. As you can see, it is asking for RGB. If I scroll it down, it is RGBA now, right? You can use all these things. Now if I put this back, it is RGB. If I drag it down, it has changed to RGBA. So if you want only RGB, you can use only RGB. If you want RGBA, you can use this, drag down this part, and you can put RGBA here, right? You can change all the colors and you can give. Now I have given 0.347. Let us check the output of this. You can see the output has been displayed here, right? So this is how you can use RGBA. Okay, so that was about RGBA. Now we are going to learn about HSLA. Now HSL we have already learned. So HSLA color values are an extension of HSL color values within the alpha channel. Again, just like RGBA, alpha has been introduced there also. Here also alpha has been introduced. That specifies the opacity for that color particularly. Though this is the syntax, just like RGBA, this is the syntax for HSLA. HSLA of hue, saturation, lightness, and alpha channel. Now alpha parameter is a number between 0.0, that is fully transparent, and 1.0 is not at all transparent. That means it is opaque. Now these are all the few examples which have been given for HSLA. Now let's check all these examples and let's check the output of it. Now here I have used RGBA, so I'll remove RGBA here. Instead of RGBA, I'm going to put HSLA. Now it is asking for hue, so let's put hue value there. So hue value will put it as 9, and for saturation let us put it as 100% saturation. 100. It must be specified with percentage values. This is not a number. It must be specified with percentage values. Let us put it as 60% for lightness, and for the alpha channel I'm going to put it as 0.2. If I go back and check the output of this, you can see how the output of your HSLA. So now I'm going to use blue color. So what I'm going to put here is HSL, who is 255, 100% saturation, 2 for this is RGBA. So let us change it to HSLA, right? So this is what I need. So I'm going to put it as percentage here, percentage. This is 24%. So let's check the output. I want it as blue, right? So I'm going to change it to 255. Again I'm going to give 100% here saturation. Again I'm going to give 100% for the lightness. So I'm going to give opacity as 1, so it is completely white. If I give 0, it is different color, right? So you can play with the colors like this. 50% if you give, there's a different color. You can see the output. If you don't want to see the output directly into the website, you can just see your output here itself. This shows your number change, when you change the number, it shows the color which is going to be represented. Now if I give it as 25 and save it, you can see there's a different color here. If I give 10% and save it, it gives a different color. If I give 255 and save it, it gives a different color. Now you can change HSLA values here also directly like this, right? You can change the different numbers. If you want, you can just scroll all these things for HSLA values, and you can use HSLA colors in your HTML and CSS. So this is how we can use HTML, HSLA, CSS colors. So that was about RGB and HSL, that is the colors. Now we are going to learn about background. Background properties are used to define the background effects for an element. Right, we have never used background in our previous classes. In this class we are going to use background properties which are applicable in CSS. Now the first property is background color. Now what is background color? Background color property specifies the background color of an element. Now just like how you did color, you gave the text color, just like that we are going to use background color here, right? So you can use RGB, HEX, HSL, RGBA, HSLA color models. Also the syntax for it is very simple, background color of light blue. So let's go and do it. So let me remove the color here. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some dummy text. Maybe I'm going to put lorem ipsum. Just type lorem and tab, entire thing will be displayed here, entire text will be displayed here, right? So here there are two paragraphs, right? So I'm going to give it as H1. I don't want it to be paragraph, so I'm giving it as H1 here. So here also I'm going to change it as H1. Now save it. If I go and the output, you can see paragraph is displayed and this is the H1. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give the background color for both the things. Now here inside the style tag itself, you can give paragraph, you can select that paragraph background color of, I am going to use RGB of red color, I'm going to give as 255, and green, we don't want green to be mixed, so I'll give green 0. For the blue value also I'm going to give it as 0. So the output will be displayed as red. So if I go and check the output, the background color has been assigned as red here, right? So that is how we can use background color. Now if I want to go and change, maybe I'm going to use HSL now. So just go and put HSL 255. This must be in percentages, right? So maybe I'm going to give 10%. Here also I'm going to give 20%. Now if I go and check the output, you can see the background color has been changed. Now if you want to change the text color, how do you do it? You can just add color here and do that, right? So both the things I have showed you about how to use RGB and HSL for background colors. Now that is for the paragraph. Now we are going to do it for H1. Now H1 is a big text, so let us see how output will be there. So H1, I'm going to select H1 here. Now again background color of, I'm going to give RGB again. I'm going to select red. Instead of red, what I'm going to give, I'm going to give 0 because I don't want the red now, because the red I've already given in the last one. So here I'm going to give green also 0. In the place of blue, I'm going to give it as 255. So I should get blue color as a background. So if I go and check the output, you can see there is a blue color background color there, right? So if you want to change using HSL, you can do it. Just go here, change it to HSL. This must be 255 or any number which you want. Here I'm going to give it as 10%. This 2 must be in percentages, remember this. Again I'm going to give it as this. The same color will be displayed. So instead of that, I'm going to use 20 here, right? Go back, check the output. You can see this is the different color and this is the different color. So this is how we can use RGB and HSL for background colors, right? Now if you don't want to use HSL and background colors, you can directly give the color name itself. Now I am going to give light blue. So it will ask me, just close it, check the output. You can see it is light blue color. Now if I don't want light blue, I will just give it as blue directly, and you can see here it has changed to blue. So I'm going to give it as red once again and check it. I'm going to give it as red, and if I go and check, the red color has been displayed. You can use all the color formats. You can use any type. Here RGB you can use, HSL also you can use, or you can directly put the color there in the background color option. This is the value for this, or it shows you what color you want. Now when you go near it, it shows you what color you want. Just scroll down and check. This shows you your RGB colors. Instead of that, you can directly use your direct colors, right? So red color is this. Here also if you want, you can use direct colors. So I'm going to remove this first. So removing this, I'm going to put blue here. So go back and check the output. You can see it is completely changed and the background color is set to blue here, right? So this is how you can use background colors. Now this is an example of a website. In this example, there's a website on your left, and the right you can see the background color used here is hashtag 3E3E3E, right? So you can use all this color hexadecimal codes to give your background color. So this is about background color. So now we're going to learn about background image. In our previous classes we learned about image, right? Image tag. But here we are going to learn about background image. Now there is a difference between background image and the image. The image is displayed on the browser, but this background image is like a background for a container or a background for that particular page. So this specifies an image to use as a background of an element, right? So to use this, you can use the syntax, that is background image of URL, and you could give the file name over there. So let us see how do we do it. Now before putting a background image, we have to check whether if we have a background image available in our folder. So I'll just remove all of these things because we don't require it. So here I'm going to remove this H1 also, because since we are doing the background image, I don't think H1 and P we require it. So let us see if we have any image in our folder. Now as you can see, I have opened the folder here. You can see there are 3 different images available. So what we are going to use, we are going to use demo as an image now. So we have to see the properties first. Now this is in the format JPG. So what I'm going to put, I'm go back. Now in the style, what I'm going to put, I'm going to use body. Inside body, I'm going to put the background image. So body background image URL, I'm going to put the file name here in within invited quotes. The file name of it is demo.jpg. So right. So now if I go and check the output, you can see there's a background image on the screen now. Now I want it to change. Now there's one more image called demo1. So save it and go back and check. You can see there's a different image. So this is a background image which is available. Now if you want to put one more image, just go. I have one more image which is available, that is sequidlabs.jpg. If I go, you can see this image is little small, that is why it has occurred like this. It takes the entire screen as a background image, right? So you can use that also. For now I'm going to put it as demo. Go back and check the output. You can see this is a background image, right? So this is background image. So now we are going to go to the next topic. Before that, we can see an example over here, a background image. So there are around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 background images given. Ribbons, left.png, right.png, again left.png, right? So there are different backgrounds given. You can use all these different backgrounds to create your web page. So the next topic is background repeat. Now by default, the background image property repeats an image both horizontally and vertically. Just like you saw TechVid Labs, it got displayed horizontally and vertically, right? If the image is too small, it will be displayed horizontally and vertically. It will be replicated once again. But if the image is big, it doesn't replicate, it stays as a single background. Now some images should be repeated only horizontally or vertically, or they will look strange. Yes, 100%. To repeat an image horizontally, we have to set background repeat x. Repeat x means repeat it horizontally. Again, if you want to repeat it vertically, you have to put repeat y. So, or if you don't want the background image to be repeated at all, you can put no repeat. So let's check this. Now for this example, I'm going to use the TechVid Labs logo here, techvidlabs.jpg. Now if I go back and check, you can see it has been repeated horizontally and vertically also. I don't want it to happen. So what I'm going to put it as background repeat, no repeat. I don't want it to be repeated, so no repeat. So if I put it, if I close it and go and check, refresh, no repeat must be given with a hyphen here. If you don't use hyphen, your code will not work. So here hyphen, no repeat, so that means the image will not be repeated. So here you can see the output, the image has not been repeated. Now I want it to be repeat for horizontal. So what I'm going to use, I'm going to put, instead of no repeat, I'm going to put it as repeat X. So semicolon, close it, you can see it has been repeated horizontally, right? So this is the difference between no repeat and repeat X. Now I'm going to put it as repeat Y to check it for vertical. Now you can see there are two images, one above the other. Now this is what is vertical repeat. So this is how we can use background repeat. If you don't want anything, you can just add no repeat directly, and you can see there's only one image available and it has not been repeated. Now there's one more example for this website. Now here they have used background repeat, no repeat. Now the background is not repeated at all. Again they have used background position. Where should be the position exactly? That is 0 and 0 they have used. So that is how you can use background repeat here, right? So the next one, yes, it is very important to understand the text, right? So we gonna play with the text now. So first topic in text is text color. Now the color property is used to set the color of the text. The color is specified by a color name like red, just like how we did background color. This is actually the same, but here instead of background color we are gonna give the color to the text itself. You can see the property value pair, that is green, and color is the property, green is the value. So let's check this. Now we are not going to use background, so we'll just delete this. Inside this I'm going to put p tag and put hello world, and now I'm going to give the styling, that is p. I'm going to put color to the text, that is red. So the color of this would be red now. You can see the output, the color is red now, right? So this is how you can give color to a text. Now once you use background, that background will become red now. Now you can just add background. You can just come back, just add background color. If you do this and check the output, the background color will be changed as red, not the text color. Text color remains black, background color will be changed. Now if you remove this and if you just add the color here, the color of the text itself will change. So that is the difference between a background color and a color. There's one more example of the color which has been used, right? Color white. Here the color white is used, that is why you are getting the text colors as white here. So that is what is text color. Now we are going to learn about text alignment. Just now we learned text color. So now we are going to learn text alignment. Now text align property is used to set the horizontal alignment of a text. Text can be left or right aligned, centered or justified. H1 text align center is the syntax. Text align of center, left, right, and all those things are the values for it. Text align is the property of text alignment. If you want to use text alignment, you have to use this text align. Okay, so let us see an example. Here what I'm going to do is I'm going to align this paragraph text to the center. So before that I'm removing this color. Select the paragraph, text align of center. Now if I do this, save this and check the output, you can see the output, it is in the center now. Now if I want it to be right, I'm going to go here and change it to right. So if I go and save it and see, you can see that my text has been aligned to right. So center will align it to center, right will align it to right, left will align it to left. So you can see it is back to the left now. So this is about text alignment. Now if I want to add one more h1 tag, so I'm going to add lorem ipsum again. So here I'm going to add h1 tag and text align it for the center now. So here selecting the h1 and I'm going to add text align of center. Now if I do this and go check the output, you can see whole text, whole paragraph has been aligned to the center. Now if I do it for right, and as you can see now it has been aligned to the right, and that is why you are getting this last one in the right. So if I do it for left, it will come back to its original position, that is towards left. So this is how we can use text align. Now we are going to see some text decorations. Now how to do a text decoration. Text decoration property is used to set or remove decorations from the text. Now the syntax for it is text decoration off. You can use any values over there. So let us check. So what I'll do is I'll remove this text align for all those things here. Again I'm going to select the paragraph. Now to include text decoration, are you getting this? Text decoration. Now in the text decoration, what I'm going to put? I'm going to put line through. Now if I do this, there will be a cross mark with the text. I'm just going to show you the output now. You can see a line has been drawn. This is called as line through. So let me do the same for the h1 tag as well. So h1, again text decoration, again I'm going to put line through. So now if I go back and check, you can see the entire paragraph text has been given with line through here, right? There is a mark over here. So this is how you can use text decoration, right? If you want the line through to be some colorful line through, so what you can do is you can just add text decoration color, or if I want the line to be red, what I'm going to use? I'm going to use red color. Text decoration color equals red. If I do this, you can see the line which is drawn is red in color, right? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change it to blue and check the output once again. I'm going to change it to blue here and I'm going to see the output. Now you can see that the line which is drawn is blue in color. So this is how we can use text decoration color. One more decoration property which you can use is, that is text decoration style. Now style of text decoration, what I'm going to use, there are different styles available. You can see dashed, dotted, double, solid, wavy, right? What I'm going to use, I'm going to use wavy and check the output. How will it appear on the screen? You can see it has been appeared with wavy format. The line is not it is not a straight line, it is in a wavy format. Now I'm gonna give it, maybe I'm gonna give the same thing to the paragraph and let's check the output. Now it is not blue. Why? Because we have now not added blue here. I'm gonna add black only. So if I go and check the output, you can see there's a wavy type of line which is available. Now what I'm gonna put is, I'm gonna give text decoration color. I'm going to give the color as white. Let us see white if it works. Go back, check the output. You can see white color, line through line, but it is in a wavy format. So just like that, there are different types of formats available. Now in spite of, let me put it as dotted. Go back and check. Now you can see it is dotted now, right? So just like that, you can use dashed also. There's a dashed option. You can use dashed. Now you can see there's a dashed option. If you want to properly see it, just remove this color, go back and check the output. You can see properly, right? So this is how we can use decoration. So that was about decoration. Now we are going to see transformation. Now text transform property is used to specify uppercase and lowercase letters in a text. Now it can be used to turn everything into uppercase or lowercase letters. If you want the text to be in uppercase, you can use text transform. If you want it to be lowercase, you can use text transform itself. Now let us check the output of it. Now I'm going to remove all of these things first. We don't want it. So I'm going to use text transform for the hello world. Now you can see it is in a lowercase form. Only the first letter is uppercase. So I'm going to use text transform of uppercase. Now if I use it, entire text will be in the uppercase. As you can see the output, the entire text is in the uppercase. Now if I do it for the H1 also, go back, just copy the entire thing here, again paste it here, instead of P just put H1 and go back and see the output. Now you can see the entire text has been turned into uppercase, right? Now if I want entire thing to be in the lowercase, just go back, change it to lowercase here, and also if I want it to be lowercase, just change it to lowercase. Save it, go back and check the output. You can see entire thing, not even the first letter is uppercase now, the entire thing is in the lowercase. So this is how you can use text transform. And one more option which you have is, you can see there are different options available. When you press this, you can see capitalize, lowercase, none, uppercase, initial, inherit, unset, right? There are different options, different values available for text transform. You can use all of these things to do your it depends on you whether you want it to be uppercase or lowercase or any other values, right? You can use all of those things in text transform. Now comes text indentation. Now what is an indent? Indent property is used to specify the indentation of a first line of a text. The simple syntax for it is text indent. So let us check this. Now here what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the text transform. I'm going to add for P, and here I'm going to give it as text indent of this numbers available here. You can see text indent properties there, right? So what I will do now is I'm going to give a number there. I'm going to give it as 10px and go back and check the output here. You can see it is 10px, the indent of the line. You can see the difference between the H1 and the P. The 10 space has been given to make sure that indent is proper. Now again for the H1 also the same thing what I'm going to do, H1 text indent of 10px. Now if I go back and check the output, you can see the same indent has been given here, right? So this is how you can use text indent property, right? The next text property which you can use is letter spacing. Now letter spacing property is used to specify the space between the characters in the text. If you want the letter spacing to be close, for example, if you want it to be too much close, then you can give 1px. If you want it to be widely spread, you can give some 100px, 10px, 20px. Now it all depends on how you want your text to be displayed on the screen. For that, the syntax is very simple, letter spacing. Now here what I'm going to use, text indent I have already given, so here also I'm going to give letter spacing. So letter spacing, if I give it as 10px and check the output, you can see there are for every letter 10px space has been given, and that is why you are getting the output something like this. Now if I change it to 100px, now check the output. Now see, can you see the difference? There's a lot of space between each letter. So that is why you can use letter spacing, right? So you can give it as, usually we give it as 3px. Let's check the output. Yes. So this is proper, right? You can give 3px, you can give 100px, you can give any number of px if you want, but only if your project demands. Don't give unnecessary things. Only if you want it to be like that, then only you should supposed to give the letter spacing. So this is about letter spacing. Now next comes line height. Now line height. Now what is line height? The height between the top to the text. So what I'm going to give, line, you can see line height, and you can specify it with, maybe you can specify it with 0.8, 0.9, 0.10, right? When you go and see the output, you can see the difference. Now I'm going to see the difference now, 0.8. If you give 0.2 and check the output for the H1, you can see the line height here. You cannot actually see the entire text here, right? If I give it as 1, then probably you can see the line properly. You can see line height has been properly given here. If you use 0.1, then you cannot see your text, right? You cannot see your text properly. You can see the difference now, line height. Again, if you want to give it line height here, you can see give line height, and you can give it as 1 and see the output. You can see here it is there. Now if you want to be 0.1, now you can see it is too much close and you cannot see the text properly. So this is the use of line height. So you can use anything. If you want, you can use h1 dot small for the small heights, right? And if you want it to be big, just go here, change it to big, and here you can give it as maybe more than 1. So go save it and go back and check. You can see the difference, all those things here, right? You can use h1.big also, you can use h1.small also, that all those things doesn't matter, you can use anything. Instead, if you don't want to use anything, that is also fine, you can go and check the height. So 1.8 has been allocated as a line height, so that is what is line height. Next we are going to learn about word spacing. Now what is word spacing? Word spacing. Word spacing. Now word spacing is nothing but it specifies how white spaces inside an element is handled. How white spaces inside an element has been handled. Inside an element has been handled. Word spacing property is used to specify the space between the words in a text. Right. So to give word space in a text, that means if there is 2 words, if you want to give a space in between them, so that is called as word spacing. Let us give some space between hello world and check the output now. Now here what I'm going to do is, since I have given it as hello world here for the paragraph, here what I'm going to use is, I'm going to use word spacing and I'm going to give it as 20 px and save it. Now let me go and check the output. You can see there's 20 px space allotted between these 2 words, right? If you want to be 100, just go 200, maybe 200, go here back. You can see hello is somewhere here, world is somewhere here. So this space is 200 px. So that is how you can give word spacing also, right? So the next thing which we are going to learn is white space. Now what is a white space? Now white space properties specify how a white space inside a element is handled. This example shows how to disable text wrapping. Now I'm going to give an example of exactly what exactly is white space. So here what I'm going to do, after the word spacing, I'm going to add one more statement called as white space. Now once you add it, no wrap. If I use this no wrap and check the output, nothing basically happens, right? So before that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove all this word spacing, line height, text indent, all those things, and save it and check. No wrap. So this, if I put it as wrap, check the output, right? So you can use white spacing, but this is not usually used to disable text wrapping. This is used only to disable text wrapping, like all those things, but this is not quite important, so let us not worry about it. So we're gonna go to the next topic. Now next topic is text shadow. So how do we give text shadow in CSS? Now very simple. Now what I'm going to use is, I'm going to use the property called text shadow to give a shadow effect. Now I'm going to use text shadow. Here I have to specify the shadow. You only specify the horizontal shadow and vertical shadow, right? Those two things you can do, vertical shadow and horizontal shadow. I'm going to give vertical shadow first, that is 2px. Go back and check the output, right? There's nothing much difference there, so I'm going to give vertical shadow as well. Now you can see the difference, like vertical shadow and the horizontal shadow, you can see the difference here, right? Both the things have become a shadow now. Now if I want to give the color, just go here and give a color also there directly. 2px is horizontal, 2px is vertical, and red is the color. If I go back, you can see the color here, red color, and the original text color will be available here, right? So red color is the shadow effect which is there. So you can give, maybe you can give 20px here, you can give 20px here. Go back and check the output. You can see 20px space will be given, and it is a shadow. You cannot select that shadow. You can select the original text, but you cannot select that shadow, right? So let me do this for h1 also. So take this, copy this, let's remove all these things, paste it. Now if I go and select, you can see the shadows, right? The red color is the shadow. If I want it to be blue, I'll go here and just give it as blue here, right? After a comma, just give it as blue. Go back and check the output. You can see text h1, just select the h1 there, just give it as 2px here. Go back, text shadow, right? Remember, this is not an RGB color, right? So that is why you should not use the comma there. So after the px, just space, Now go back, check the output. You can see all the shadows which is in the blue color. Remember, you cannot select that shadow. So to give a blur effect, you can add one more value, just like here you can add just 5px. This gives you a blurring effect. Now you can see that there is a blurring effect, right? To add blur effect, you can just add 5px, or maybe you can give 2px and add, and you can see there's a difference between the blurring, right? You can just add this for your text. So right, this is how you can use text shadow. If you give 20px, it will be entirely be blurred and you cannot see the text properly, right? You can play with the blurring effect there. So this is about text shadow. Now we are going to see about styling links. Now how do we style a proper link? Now links can be styled with any CSS property, color, font family, background, right? You can just add the link name, anchor tag, and you can give the color for it. So let us check this. So first let me create a link first. So after this h1, I'm going to create a link, right? href equals https of www.google.com. So this says the link. I've created a link. I'm gonna give a name. So once you go back, check, you can see there's a link now. When you click on the link, it will redirect to the Google. So this is a link created. Now how do we style it? Just go back up here. After this, I'm gonna add anchor tag. Under the anchor tag, I'm gonna give the color as blue. Not blue. Blue is already there. So let us give it as black. Close it. Go back. Now you can see it is black color now. So right, you can just give the color of the anchor tag and you can change all the colors. Now I want it to be red, just go red, change it to red. I can see the color of the anchor tag is red now, right? So you can use all these things. Now you can use one more thing, that is here you can use active, right? When you use active, if you go back, there's no color, right? So there's no color. When you click on it, it will be changed to red. And you can see the difference, because active is used when you click on that particular element, then only the color will be changed. Now you can see that color will be changed. Now this is a fraction of second, you can see the color is changed. Now if I don't want it to be active, I'm gonna just use it as hover. So whenever I hover, the color will be changed. Now it is default by blue color. When I go near that, it will be changed as red, right? So that is how you can use hover here. Now you can use visited link also, you can use link also, right? There are different types of anchor selectors available. You can use pseudo selectors available. You can use all those things for your HTML and CSS code. So that is about styling links. Now to create a navigation bar, how can you create a navigation bar? So very simple. Just after this, I'm going to create a navigation bar. How do we create? Let us first create an unordered list first. Now I'm going to create that list item, that is, now in list item I'm going to give it as about, right? Again I'm going to give it as maybe projects. I'm going to give second list, that is projects. Then I'm going to give the third list name as contact, right? So I've created a list now. Now if I go and check the output, a list has been created here. Now how do we give a link to this? Now what I'm going to do, after this list item, I'm going to add href equals, I'm going to give it as hash because it should stay on the same page. Now what I'll do, I'll just close it, right? Remove this. Now if I go back, a link has been created. Now whenever I click on about now, it stays on the same page, right? So again, for the same things, you can actually add all the things like this. Just after this, you can add this, close it, right? So whenever you click on that particularly, it stays on the same page. Why? Because hashtag means it stays on the same page. Now to give colorings for this, what I'm going to use, I'm going to go up here. What I'm going to use is, I'm going to use ordered list, because ordered list, we are going to give the color to ordered list. List style, you can see list style. What I'm going to use is you can use as circle. Maybe I'm going to use it as circle now. List style circle. After that I'm going to give the margin for it. Margin I'm going to give it as 0. We don't want margin, right? Just go back and check. You can see the list, there was only black bullet, right? Now it has turned to circle, right? So just like that, if I want it to be changed, the list style, I'm going to change it to, you can see there are all available here. You can see different types available here. Just go, maybe I'm going to give it a square. Go back and check the output. Now it has turned it to square. So when I click on it, it stays on the same page. Now if I want to give it to other page, here if I go here and give google.com, https google.com, it will be redirected to the next page, that is google.com. So this is how you can style the unordered list. This can be used for your navigation, right? So list style. List style is, and if you go there are different types of list style available. If you want image also, you can put image of, maybe I'm going to put techvid labs.jpg. Now if I go back, now see there's nothing happening, but when you scroll down you can see the image somewhere on your left, right? So what I'm going to do here is, let me make sure I'll repeat it. Background image, background, repeat. I'm gonna put repeat X. Go back and check the output. There's this code, there's this image here, right? So what happens is, image has been allotted to your navigation unordered list here. So that is how you can use that also, but this is not quietly used, so let us not give this. So I'll control save, and again I'll go back. You can see all the three things which are available, right? So this is about styling links and also how to create a navigation bar, that is list of links.